Thank you. All right, you're putting me in place.
I only know you.
Yeah. Well, I'm Juliana Custer, and yeah, we'll just say what we really like to do. I like to direct and write a lot.
Alright. My name is Miles Fogelman. I love to direct. I just love movies. I love being a part of movies. That's what it's all about. Thank you.
Which film?
Oh, and I did 7 Miles West. So for the town, this was shot in Oklahoma, so we were looking a lot of different places because we thought that like a real Western town, real Western world is a part of the story. I think we wanted to homage that, so it was very important that we found something. And we knew that it's the National Cowboy Museum, which we put on there. And we thought about it for a moment, but we were like, there's no way they would actually give us that location. It would probably be way too expensive, and like, there's, on average, hundreds of people going in and out the day, so I don't know how that would happen. So we kind of let go of that idea for a while, and then we couldn't find anything else, so we kind of got desperate. And we're like, maybe we could convince them. We're broke, and we're making a movie, and I don't know, it could be like a capstone project for school. So we worked with our school at the time, me and the co-director, and kind of used them as like this Trojan horse to hype us up as this like awesome capstone project that's like, it's really telling our stories through this really fun, I don't know, it was a lot of bullshit. And the thing is, that place, people rent it out, and it's usually about $2,000 for a night. And luckily, through all that schmoozing and talking, we got it down to $200 for 2 days, which was the nicest thing that could ever happen. And I think it adds a lot. So I think it's really, if you have a vision for your locations and your stories, I think you should go for as much as you can.
Very true.
I think, great question by the way, I think the two most common things, two most common genres in short films are comedy or drama. I think that's what I've seen the most of, and I have seen a lot of it not land, because it's subjective. Obviously the whole art's subjective, but it's specifically those two things. Specific people find specific things funny, same with drama. But I think the way I looked at it, because it's a very funny concept. It's the same people, they have the same face, and it's cowboys for some reason. But I think the thing I learned when writing comedy is to play it serious. There's a mix of both. There's a big love for more comedy actors working in dramatic fields, same as when we like seeing dramatic actors and funny skits on SNL or whatever else. I think there is there's a bridge that we can definitely mix those two things. And so when writing and acting and all of that, we definitely wanted to play it serious. We have a bunch of dudes who are the same guy, saying all these funny lines, and they're again, there are one-liners and little punches and whatnot, but we tried to play it serious. Our villain, our antagonist, we really wanted there to be something there, motivation, obviously, and exposition, and we wanted to really treat it as a serious character, as their own characters, as everyone else. Obviously they're not all fleshed out, but some of them are, because we believe that for as funny as a concept as you have, some of the funniest things in life that we all laugh at are not funny things. When serious things happen, laughing usually gets us through those situations, and that's why I think, again, that bridge and that communication between drama and comedy, serious moments, happy moments, all of that, I think that's very important to highlight within work. We had no money. we had maybe $500. Most of it went to the location. Obviously, in a large amount, that 200 for that location was the most. This was, as I said before, this was shot in Oklahoma. There is a scene of young creative filmmakers who want to do something and make something, and they don't need money for it. I didn't need money for it. I just did it because I wanted to, because I loved it, and so did these people. And I was really lucky that they just wanted to do it. I worked on their sets, so they wanted to work on mine. There was people I cared for, people I loved, people I would help, and they did the same. So, but we paid for food for 2 days. It's crafty, which is always important. You always, if you can't pay them, feed them, is what I say. The second most amount of stuff that we paid for was wardrobe, and like props. That was something we also wanted to be very careful about. The main guy's replica pistol was that was a bit of a purchase, not a lot, but a bit more than we thought we would. And then all the other characters, they have their 6-shooters, and they have boots, and actually the mustaches were free, but the vests and the hats and the cups, and we wanted to put a shot in it. It cost a little bit of money to make. In the back of the bar, there's a big thing of wanted posters, and we built that, and we printed that, and that costed a little bit of money to build. It's not, you can't even see it in the movie. But, I mean, I think that's the point. Even if you're not going to see it, I think doing the most with the least is incredibly important as a filmmaker. I think if you want to make a sci-fi movie and you have no money, you should try to make a sci-fi movie instead of saying, I don't want to do that. If you want to make a timepiece, make a timepiece. If you want to make a romance, make a romance. I think make whatever you want. From having, our budget to any one of these other filmmakers' budgets, I think everyone here had a vision, and they were going to make that vision with whatever they had, which is a lot to say, but $500 is my final answer. I mean, the idea for the movie started from a bit. There's a lot of things too. My co-director, who could not be here tonight because he does not live in this city or this state, I don't know, he just had this funny idea, a Western concept, just like a scene, except they're all the same guy, and that was it. And we kind of just, I was talking about this earlier tonight, but we kind of just like let it be as a bit for a couple months. But I think a lot of things lined up for the inspiration of why it was actually made. And a big part of that was my co-director. He wanted to make something, and he hadn't had that opportunity. The dude is so creative. He's one of the most creative I've ever met. And he has a vision when he cares about something, and he wants to do as much as he can with that vision. But he hadn't had that opportunity yet, and I had just started getting those opportunities. So a lot of the motivation and inspiration for making a really funny concept like that was, I want you to be able to do this. And so it was this combination of his original idea, a little bit of experience on my end, and then just a shared love. When you're working on an art or a project or anything you care about, when you find someone that you genuinely know cares about it just as much as you do, that's something I think you should completely hold on to. I've experienced that several times in my life. We both love that movie and that idea to 11. And we knew that. We absolutely knew that. There wasn't one person who was here and another person was here. We were both there. And so honestly, it was a lot of emotional inspiration for just wanting to do something for the both of us. And then the other part of it was we just like Westerns. We watched Rango, and we love Rango. It speaks to the genre, but also we just, we love Westerns in general. I really love that genre. I think it represents a side in Hollywood that should be represented more, which is this big land of opportunity, and obviously it's Hollywood, so it's not completely realistic, but it's the idea of anyone has the opportunity to be a hero or be an outlaw or be have their story, and that's why I love the genre so much, because it opens up so many diverse stories, so many different stories with a lot of fun in it. I really like good sound. I don't like movies with bad sound. It gets to me. There's a sense of technical continuity within sound, but also your visual. I don't think it's all about visuals. I've had a lot of mess ups visually, and that's not what defines a good movie or a bad movie, in my opinion, or anyone else's per se. I mean, it can, but on a technical level, sound and visual continuity are two things I care about. When it comes to the story and the arcs and all of that, I think, how do I put this? Giving the audience fulfillment in the way of, like, at the beginning of a story or a TV show or just something, you place down all these little bricks, right? And then as you continue, we learn more, we do more, there's a progression. That's how stories go. And when we come to the end of this project, this film, whatever we're looking at, there's a path, or there's a bridge, and it made sense. And we didn't just place down stones and then leave them there. Like, I think as audience members, all of us are, movies work because people watch them. And like, I'm an audience, as I said, I'm an audience member. I love going to movies. I love movies. I love making movies. And I feel the most seen by a director or a creative team when they have an intentional story and they let that play out all the way, and they drop all these little things about, like, this character starts here, and as we said, like, now they're here, or there's one little line here, or there's this one motif, or this one prop, or something like that, and then we get to the end, and they said, oh, do you remember that prop? Do you remember that motif? Do you remember this character arc? Do you remember this line? And then they say, well, we're gonna pay that back, and you deserve it. Because it's like, to me, it's like the director's like, thank you for watching this movie, or whatever else. I want you to, like, feel fulfillment, because I pay attention to those details and those things, and so to me, that's what I look for, is when, like, they have such intentionality with their stories and they really give a big payoff. It's small or big, obviously, but that's just what I love when I watch movies.